allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, welcome guests. Before we begin, I'd like to call on Dr. Mannon.
Thank you, Madam President, members of the board. There is a correction to item 17.9. You have that in front of you. We are also requesting that we're pulling item 15.2 for a rewrite of that item, and it'll be back on your September 19th board agenda.
Okay, great. Thank you, Dr. Mannon. I need a motion and a second to adopt the agenda as corrected.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Okay, motion carried. Thank you. I have a report of closed session actions. The Board of Education in closed session held on September 6, 2016, voted to ratify the settlement agreement between the district and certificated employee number 01-16/17 in connection with the pending dismissal proceedings before the California Office of Administrative Hearings. The roll call was unanimous. Okay, the other item, report of action in closed session. The Board of Education in closed session voted unanimously to approve the following administrative appointment effective September 12, 2016. Dr. Teresa Lamphere, Principal, Launch and Preschool Programs. Congratulations and welcome. Teresa served as the principal for Wood Elementary for our district since July 2008. She previously served as the principal at Fern Elementary from 2005 to 2008, summer school principal, Launch in 2011, assistant principal at Hickory Elementary from 2003 to 2005, and special language pathologist from 2001 to 2003. She also worked in the Manhattan Beach Unified School District from 1986 to 2001, where she served as an early childhood coordinator, program specialist, and speech-language pathologist. Teresa received a Bachelor of Arts in Communicative Disorders from California State University, Long Beach in 1983, her Master of Arts in Communicative Disorders from California State University, Northridge in 1986, and her doctorate in Educational Administration from the University of Southern California in 2008. We would like to congratulate Teresa.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it. I'm really looking forward to the opportunity to be able to serve all the preschoolers in Torrance. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay. We will go ahead and move on to staff presentations and information. We'll start with the report from the Torrance Education Foundation. Susan Swinburne. Well, Susan.
Good evening to everyone. I'm happy to report that there are still tickets available to the Jean Drevno Scholarship Annual Fundraising Evening at the Comedy and Magic Club on September 14th. And I invite anyone who hasn't already signed up for this very fun event that raises funds to support the scholarship in Jean's name to go to our website and sign up. It'll be a fun evening. So I encourage you to do so. Our fall annual fundraiser is underway. It started last month, and we are happy to see new memberships coming into the foundation, and we encourage anyone here and anyone listening on TV to consider becoming a member of Torrance Education Foundation, because we're here to support you. You can find a membership form on our website at www.torranceeducationfoundation.org, and you can also make payment by PayPal. The big exciting thing coming up later this fall is our annual Sketchers Walk. We were very, very successful in increasing our support from the Sketchers Foundation last year by increasing the number of registered walkers from Torrance Unified clubs and groups to more than 2,000 individuals. So our goal this year is to raise that number to 2,500 because the gift we receive is directly related to the number of participants. The registration fee this year did go up to $30 from what has always been $25, but the good news there is that our commitment to TUSD and to our students and teachers and schools is that every registration that comes into a club or a school group or a PTA or PTSA to form a team will come back to you from our Skechers grant. So $30 in, $30 back to you, which we hope will encourage many, many, many members of the community to participate with us. And you can register and be a virtual walker, so you don't have to come out and walk. If Sunday, October 23rd doesn't work for your calendar, please join us as a registrant anyway and help support your campus and your clubs. The last piece of good news is that our foundation will be opening business offices in about a month. We're very happy to report that that's coming. So we'll look forward to inviting everyone to an open house later in the fall to come and see our new offices, our storefront, and we're eager to move forward with that. Any questions I can answer tonight?
But thank you for the good news.
Do you,
October 23rd, Sunday, October 23rd for the Skechers Walk.
do you have a date for the dinner?
Yes, we are targeting April 1st. Yes.
Okay. Any other
Thank you.
questions? Well, thank you very much.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right. Okay, next we move on to the report from the Torrance Council of PTAs. Michelle Von Lebergy, our Torrance Council President.
Good evening, Madam President of the Board, the School Board, Dr. Mannon, and Cabinet. I'm excited to start a new school year. This will be my last year serving as President of Torrance Council of PTAs.
She's smiling as she says that.
So I'll be putting my third kid through West after this term, so we'll see what happens at West High. So we have been keeping ourselves busy over the summer. One of our big projects every year is Project BOSS, Bring Our Students Supplies, is what BOSS stands for. We collected, donated, and purchased school supplies and backpacks for students in need in TUSD. We distributed over 450 backpacks. It looks like it's closer to 500 once I just got an update. I think 497 or something like that, filled with backpacks over 3 days, and that goes to kids in need in Torrance Unified. So I think that was a big success. We had several different organizations donating, and then we were able to, with the donations from each of our 30 units, we were able to go out and purchase what we were missing. So several of us over the summer packed those bags up and got everything ready, and it's always a worthwhile project to see that come to fruition and see those kids smile when they get their backpacks. So that was a great success. We've also been working on our membership drive. Alicia Allen is our new membership chair this year, and we are very excited to see what this year holds as we find the pieces to our puzzle, which is this year's campaign theme. So we are striving to have a membership increase over last year. We had 15,185 members, and we look forward to increasing that. 33rd District has a contest that we have decided to win this year as well. I believe there is a dinner at stake, so yeah. So everyone in this room is encouraged to join their local neighborhood school PTA, and the school board and cabinet, you will be receiving yours in the mail, your invitation to join, so we hope that you do that. And so we are really looking forward to a successful year, and we'll have wonderful reports going forward. Does anybody have any questions?
I just wanted to thank you, Michelle and PTA, for the backpack Project BOSS. I believe that that's been a really special community event, and the fact that you work collaboratively with the district to reach out to all of these students that need them. It's always such an amazing event. So thank you so much for that effort.
You're very welcome.
Really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Michelle? Okay, thank you. All right. All right, thank you. So do we have any oral communications? No cards? Okay, we're just going to go ahead and move on to that. Thank you, Dr. Mannon. Discussion action items. We're going to go ahead and move on to 10.2. I need a motion and a second to approve the unaudited actual financial statements for fiscal year 2015-2016 and approve revisions to the 2016-2017 ending fund balances.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Dr. Stowe.
Thank you, Ms. Deutsch, members of the board. This is routine information that happens this time of year in order for you to approve the item tonight that we then send on to LACO prior to September 15th. And so these are the unaudited actuals that our staff have gone through as they close the books at the end of the year, and then looking at the balance in the unrestricted general fund. So the one number really to look at here is the net operating surplus of $1.6 million, and that is really primarily due to the textbook adoption that we did for English Language Arts. We can't book anything as an expense until it's been received, and with the roughly $3.2 million in textbooks, about half of them were not received until after June 30th. And so, although we budgeted for it in last school year, we received it after July 1st, and so therefore it goes down as an expense in the current year, which we expected. It was a big order, and we did everything we can, but we received them in July, and they're out at schools, and kids are bringing them home. So it doesn't delay the implementation of it at all. It's just how we can book it as an expense. So that's why we have a positive operating surplus there in last year's fiscal year. So a couple other items that you can see here, roughly $50,000 additional in warehouse inventory. And again, we could attribute that to things that schools ordered ahead of time that we then received prior to June 30th, or didn't receive until after June 30th, or increase in the cost of goods. So everything else there is pretty right on target.
A question on that, that's the stuff held at the warehouse, right? Stuck.
Right, so the $531,000 is
This was a big thing when I did maintenance, get that stuff down, get it down. I mean, a district this size, is that the right number or average number? District this size, is that an appropriate number, or it's higher or low?
I couldn't answer that.
Okay.
I can certainly look into it. I know that's a number that the warehouse has wanted to decrease, but schools are ordering a lot of stuff, and they've got a lot of money with supplemental, all these one-time funds, and so we are processing a lot in and out of the warehouse, and so we've just done a copier refresh, and so all the toner that we keep in stock in order to have supplied for school. So I'll find out whether or not that's an appropriate number for the district our size, but it's not a significant difference one way or the other than what has been.
I didn't understand what you said when you said, "We got a lot of money." That's new to me.
Well, school sites have a lot of money.
Good.
And,
That's refreshing.
as we talk about, you adopted the LCAP back in June, and a significant portion, about $3 million of that LCAP fund, we pass through directly to school sites at about $305 per targeted student, in addition to all of the one-time funds that the board allocated to sites in June. And so there's a lot happening in purchasing in the warehouse.
Good.
And here you can see the $1.3 million surplus there in what makes up 1.6 in additional balance for the close of 15-16. And then this bottom target here is we actually want that to be a negative number. That means that our sites are spending their LCAP dollars. We actually had budgeted less in there as far as carryover, and so the fact that they're spending more of their targeted funds at the sites, that's actually a good number. That's negative. And finally here, you can see that the reserve for economic uncertainties increased by $504,000, which is a pretty small amount, 0.22%. So our actual unaudited number is 9.59%, or $21 million roughly. So our next report to you will be the first interim, where we'll bring the additional changes and so forth for what we've spending this year.
Thank you, Dr. Stowe. I'm always amazed by looking at that attachment of 118 pages, how that's pulled together. And that's thanks to Judy Chai.
Judy Chai and her staff do a great job.
That's just amazing. Okay. Any other questions regarding this? Okay, we have a motion on the floor. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Okay, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, the next item is I need a motion and a second to approve the 12th Amendment for contract for employment of superintendent of schools.
So moved.
Second.
It is recommended that the 12th Amendment to contract for employment of superintendent of schools, Dr. George Mannon, be approved as presented. Any discussion? All those in... You raised your hand, Mrs. Reagans.
Are we sure we want to do this another year, Dr. Mannon?
Wow, this is more than another year.
Well, it's up, how you gonna vote?
No, I'm pleased to have George with us and continuing with us, so I think it's been a very successful partnership.
Knock on wood, I agree.
Let's make it a 3-2, then the Breeze has got something right. So, yeah.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Okay, unanimous. You're very welcome, Dr. Mannon. Okay, we're going to move on to the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve every single consent item all the way through except for 15.2.
Second.
Except for 15.2. Oh, yeah.
Took notes, huh?
Okay, so
Put down
Mrs. Reagans.
15.2.
Was there a second for that?
Yes, there was.
Yes, there was.
I actually wanted to discuss 14.5,
Do you want to approve it and then discuss it?
Clear Recovery Center. Sure. Yeah, let's pull it and,
You want to,
since she's sitting here, I'll give her a chance to.
okay, so.
So I'll amend 15.2 and add 14 point what?
5. Okay, any others?
Attempting to pull all the bond ones just to keep Tom on his toes, but that's all right.
All the change orders?
He looked up when he said that.
There's a lot of change orders in it.
Yes, there is a lot of change orders. Do we want to pull those, Mr. Wormers?
No, that's okay.
Okay, I know. Okay, so there's a motion on the floor that we approve all consent items except for the one that we're going to pull, which is 14.5.
And 15.2.
And 15.2, correct. Thank you. Okay, and we got a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Okay, motion carried. All right, so let's go ahead and I need a motion and a second for the approval for Clear Recovery Center to provide educational services for the 2016-2017 school year.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, second. So any discussion?
Yes. Oh, wait a minute. I'm probably supposed to be speaking into this.
I think so.
Yeah, this is for approval for the Clear Recovery Center to provide educational services for the 2016-17 school year. We got a little bit of information about this and just a teensy bit in the item, but I had lots of questions about whether this is a nonprofit and how it is funded and how the students will be referred, and is it to the school or can individuals participate, all of those kinds of things. And I think one of the people involved is here, so might be able to answer those questions. Can we call her?
Please.
Okay.
Okay.
So just a little bit about the item. This is a free service to our schools. And they're going to be starting off with parent workshops, faculty workshops for our school sites. And so this is a completely free service to our sites. And then after that, if students are referred or there are students, I'm going to let Christine fill you in on how that would work.
Free like our Jocelyn robes, or free?
Oh,
Free.
free for the school
cost
sites
to
to
the
get their,
district.
no cost to the district for the workshops they would provide for parents and for the faculty.
Just trying to confirm that it's not a graduation robe kind of free.
Come on down. Yes.
Good evening,
Good
Board.
evening.
Dr. Manna
Good
and
to see
Cabinet.
you.
Good to see you, too. We missed you at Torrance already. Oh, thank you. That meant a lot to me, Terry. I appreciate that.
You look-
I felt sad today, I have to admit. It was a tough morning, realizing I wasn't going back. But this is a very exciting venture for me. I would not have left such a illustrious career with such a wonderful school district if it had not been for Clear Recovery. I am very firmly committed to seeing our teens and young adults clean and sober. And I feel that in my role as a counselor, I consistently saw that we had a problem. And it's not just our problem here in Torrance, it's a problem nationwide, which we're all aware of. And Clear Recovery is committed to helping our teens and young adults. And we are willing to give those services for free. There's no, expectation. We're not asking for payment. It's parent education. It's getting the South Bay aware of the drug and alcohol issues with our teens, getting them up to date on those issues, because as we all have experienced in our own youth or even in our own families, it has changed greatly. And Clear Recovery really does provide a wonderful resource to Torrance Unified in the parent education workshops. They've been successfully held at Manhattan Beach Middle School, Vista Mar School up in El Segundo, so they have had proven success with communities already. So this isn't a new program, it's just a program that we're extending to Torrance.
I would love to attend one of them in Torrance, so if you could maybe invite all of us. we would love
Most
to attend.
definitely.
The other thing I noticed is that you also conduct Red Ribbon
Yes.
Yes.
week presentations, and I know that the PTAs locally work on those. Is there something you could partner with the PTAs to work with? Or
Most definitely,
that would
again.
be great.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I know that you also had hired this year a parental involvement coordinator, and I think this also would be a good fit for us to work with them in providing the workshops and how they would best suit the district in providing them.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah, so how is it funded, Christine? It's a nonprofit that gets
We are not a nonprofit, we
donations,
are a
or-
for-profit company.
Oh, you are, okay.
But we are funded through PPO insurance.
Oh, okay, okay.
And so this is our give back to the community in forms of our outreach.
Okay. So individual students could seek out services, again, with PPO basis, and/or schools can request that you do come and do the
Yes.
presentations, or how will that process work? Do you have a sense for that?
So I think our first outreach would be to the high school level,
Yes.
because that area would be the most in need. So it really would depend on who organizes it at each high school site, but I will be reaching out to them and discussing with them how they'd like to implement it. We could also look at maybe doing the parent series at Torrance Auditorium, because they have a big capacity and can fill it. We could look at maybe doing a night for all 4 high schools in one location, or do 4 separate ones. It really depends on what suits your needs best.
Okay, cool.
And Red Ribbon, to go back to that a little bit, what we would be providing would be a panel of former abusers who could talk about their experiences in a very poignant way that students could relate to.
Nice. Okay.
Okay.
Sounds great.
Yes, it does.
Thanks.
Any other questions for us? No? Okay, we have.
All right, wonderful to see you all
Thank
again.
you.
I look forward to partnering with all of
Yes,
you.
same here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we do have a motion on the floor. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Okay, motion carried. Thank you. All right, so now we're going to move on to information, which is the board calendar. Comments from members of the Board of Education. Report from the board's representative to the Southern California Regional Occupational Center, Mrs. Terry Reagans.
Yes, thank you. I still am turned on too, good. Yes, so we did have a meeting in August,
And they had a couple of students actually attend because this was the first summer in a long while that they actually had adult school classes being held on campus. So there were students around. And the two students that spoke to us, one was an emergency medical technician who was from Redondo Beach Union High School and had taken classes at SoCal Rock as a high school student, but had come back afterwards to do the EMT as an adult student. And then the second one was a dental assisting program student from Inglewood High School who had done the same. They had started a few classes with medical assisting, et cetera, at SoCal Rock when they were high school students, and then came back afterwards to do the actual dental assisting program. One of the things that they quoted, which I thought might be interesting to you folks, is they had 23 students from just the few programs they had running this summer that were out working in the community and getting work experience. Of those 23 externships, 8 of them were hired immediately on site. So after they'd worked for the companies and the doctors, mostly doctors and dentists, they were hired right then and there. So must be good training that's being provided for those students. Yep. The other thing I wanted to share with you all, which is kind of an interesting process, is we all may know that the future of SoCal Rock is somewhat unknown at this stage of the game, but the board decided to create a work team that consists of the entire board to look at the future of SoCal Rock, which essentially involves an additional meeting for each of us every month. But we feel strongly enough about looking at the future of SoCal Rock and funding mechanisms and funding potential and trying to define some aspect that will keep it operating and running for the benefit of the students in the community. So we are working on that. This month in particular has been problematic because people have not been available for the meetings. But we will continue to work on that. As a group, it was intended to be just a small committee, but everyone on the board was interested in participating. So in fact, it became a broader sort of a board work team. I'm not sure exactly even what to call it at this stage of the game. It's kind of changed shape at this point. I did have a couple of other things too, if I can turn my computer back on. One of those is classified employee anniversaries. There are a bunch of folks that are completing 10 years of accredited service and have a 10-year anniversary increment, including Kathleen Apple, Fernando Camacho, Margarita De La Garza, Jennifer Gardner, Dina Coda, Jonathan Mercado, Jennifer Nelson, Emiliano Ortiz, Terry Smith, Jay Takayama, and Anisha Womley. And then for 15 years of accredited service, as of September 1st, we have Denise Aguayo, Marlene Connors, Diane Monson, and Francesca Van Swearingen. And for 20 years of service, a paraeducator at Torrance High, Mary DeRosa, has been around with us for a long time. Thank you for your service to our students and for being with us all that time. And last but not least, we had the Torrance Council of PTA's president here, and part of the reason she was here tonight is that we do have a resolution proclaiming September and October as PTA membership enrollment months. So please join your local PTAs. Whether you have a student in school or not, it's nice to support us. We appreciate your support, let's put it that way. And then there was also a resolution proclaiming September 15th to October 15th as Hispanic Heritage Month.
Yes, I saw
So we
that.
can celebrate our Hispanic students and their heritage that we do celebrate in our schools. And I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Regans. Any other comments from the board?
Yeah, I have.
Mr. Stuffin?
One, in that agenda we just approved, I want to congratulate Dr. Stowe on his contract that was approved during there. Thank you. Welcome, and, well, not welcome, but good luck. Okay, good. And then I guess, I don't know if this could be summed up in all those change orders, because did most of those change orders come as a result of no lease spec? So they can't, okay. I just wanted to make sure that the public knows, and, that this is a result of losing the lease spec. Okay.
We've yet to break a 10% change order. We've yet to break a 10% change order. I've been impressed that you guys have been able to keep it below 10%. Of course, you may be breaking it into pieces or something, but.
That's what I'm saying.
That's all I had.
Okay, thank
You
you.
don't get no
Mr.
mercy,
Snedden.
dude.
Mr. Lee?
Nothing.
Nothing. Mr. Wormers?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, so if there's no further business, I move to adjourn in memoriam of retired elementary school teacher Diane Everly and retired high school teacher Gordon Johnston. Meeting adjourned. Good evening, everyone.
Turn out the lights, the party's over.
Yes.